everybody, Lisa here. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to my weekly deck review. This is basically the video where I share with you the decks that I have been working with this week. Usually it's one tarot and one oracle, what I've been thinking about them, and what I'm going to be working with next week. So typically during this, during each week, I work with these decks pretty much primarily, except when I'm called to use another one for a client or for a really specific purpose, but usually I try to work with them almost exclusively, and I had such a great time this week. In fact, it feels like I have been working with these decks for like a month, probably because I got a lot of mileage out of them this week. So without further ado, I'm just going to get right into it. So for tarot, I have been working with the Textured Tarot. This is by Lisa McLoughlin. Make sure I don't get that wrong. Yeah, Lisa McLoughlin art. This deck is independent, and I purchased it on Etsy. It came with a little white book, which, to be honest, I really haven't used at all. Occasionally I'll look at it, but it really is for every card just a list of keywords. So there's not a lot in here. I mean, I'm not dissing it. I didn't need it, and that to me is a really good thing because it means that the deck itself did such a great job of speaking to me that I didn't need to rely on the book. I love this deck, you guys. I used it so much this week. So as some of you know, I had an opportunity to do some readings at my local metaphysical shop, Reflections, and this deck came along for the ride along with the Deviant Moon and the Healing Light Tarot, and I let my clients pick, and this was the one that most clients gravitated to. It read beautifully for me. I had zero issue with it. I didn't have any cards that came up that gave me any amount of pause. I would venture, I don't like to use terms like soul deck or anything like that, but this one is so clear for me. I don't even know where to begin. And I know I talked and raved about this last week when I introduced this deck for the week. I've been really excited to work with it. I love this wheel because it has the Wheel of the Year on it. It makes me really happy. I actually pulled this card a lot in client readings, and it just is really meaningful for me. I love the Ten of Cups. I will tell you that I totally had my first shuffling casualty, so I'm going to see if I can find it in here. So I have learned the hard way, because of working with this deck this week, that you just can't rifle shuffle every deck just because you want to. Because this deck is, the cardstock on this deck, I don't know what GSM it is, I'm really bad at that, but it's really thick. I don't know if you can really see, but it doesn't have, it springs back fine, I guess, but it's really stiff, and when I try to shuffle it, it's like slap, 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 it does not bend very well, and I'm a shuffle and a bridger. Oh my gosh, I have to show you though. Look at this Nine of Swords. It's just brilliant. She's all wrapped up almost in stars. It's just the artwork in this deck. Whew. Okay, sorry, back to my casualty. So I rifle and then I bridge. That's what I was trying to say. I rifle and then I bridge, and this deck is too stiff to bridge. And I don't think I've ever had that happen before, but watch me not be able to find it now. The very first day I used this deck, believe it or not, was the day that oh my gosh, can I not find it? It's got to be right here. It was the deck that it was the day that I wrecked it. Why can I not? It was a queen. Where was it? Oh my gosh. Anyway, I bent a card. That's the punchline. Sorry, I can't seem to find it, which I guess is good news. It means that as I used it throughout the week, maybe it kind of maybe smoothed out a little, I guess. But there is a very definite wrinkle. Yeah, I can't find it now. I guess that's good news, right? I should not be complaining, but I wanted to show you what it did. But basically, it straight up folded, and when I straightened it out again, there was a definite wrinkle on it. I did edge this deck in a light gray. My sister got some alcohol-based markers in Seattle when she went home after our last visit, and one of the colors that she has is a dark gray, and I think I'm going to re-edge this in a darker gray, because the lighter gray, while it does take away, just for comparison, it takes away the white. That's the white from the Little White Book. But it just looks almost like a dingy gray. It's not quite what I want, but I think I want a darker gray, and barring that, I would go black with this. But anyway, all that to say, I was bummed that I wrecked a card, but obviously it's kind of worked itself out a bit throughout the week, because when it first happened, I could hold my deck together like this and clearly see which one was the wrecked card, and that's not the case anymore. So I guess I can't complain too much, but this deck was a workhorse this week. I would definitely reach for this in a heartbeat if I was going to do client readings on location somewhere, or if I wanted a deck to travel with. It's such a good all-arounder. So really, really enjoyed this one. And it doesn't necessarily read specifically modern, although some cards definitely are. Like here's a Page of Pentacles just studying away, and she's got sneakers on. So, but it also doesn't read old to me. It's like this, it's just, I don't know, man. I had such a great time with this deck, and I would be super thrilled to pull it out again. So no complaints. I'm kind of a little sad to be putting it away, but I did get a ton of use out of it. Like I said, I did some client readings. I did a reading for my sister. I think I did a reading for Peggy. I did all my regular stuff, like my Instagram challenge stuff and daily draws, and great. Fantastic. Love it, love it, love it. Kind of almost sad, but I've got exciting things coming up. So, and my nose is super itchy, like every freaking video. So I'm very sorry I'm constantly rubbing on my nose, but it's energy. Sorry. Just is a thing. The Oracle deck I was working with this week also did me no wrong at all. It was amazing. Was this Illuminated Earth Oracle. This is by Mack. This is also a independent deck, and I believe is also available on Etsy. This deck I edged in, these are the backs, I edged this one in a blue, and my preview actually is a little bit warm toned because it's late, and my tablet does a thing where it makes my colors warm so I can sleep. So my color's off in my preview window, but it's a bright royal blue. It's deep, like maybe deep navy is a better way to put it. Anyways, this deck was also, that's Reincarnation, was also fantastic all week. I also pulled this during client readings as clarifiers, as extras, and I tended to pull them in threes, not always. But it's very balanced. This ranks right up there alongside Oracle of Echoes as a Oracle deck I would pull 100% for divination. And by when I say that, like Daily Draw Oracle definitely is a form of divination. I'm not saying it's not, but when I say it in that way, I guess what I mean is I could use this deck instead of or in addition to tarot the way that I use tarot. In other words, in spreads. I could use it to answer questions, multiple cards, not just singles. The keywords are great. The images are great. Very versatile. I'm super pleased to own this. And now that I have it, and I've had it for a little while now, I've been waiting to use it alongside the Texture Tarot. And I literally waited to use the Texture Tarot until I had this in hand because I knew I was getting it. I do think that the art style is very complementary to the Texture Tarot because this is also a collage-y art, although this one is a much more, I want to say this right. I want to say this is a much more artistic type of collage, but that's not entirely fair. I think what I mean, because they're both beautifully artistic, I think what I mean is that this one has a lot more paint effects and layers to it, whereas the other one, the Texture Tarot, focuses on textures. There's a lot of fabric style textures, layers, and things like that. This one also has quite a bit of texture in it, but it's also got a lot of paint, like a lot of this liquid paint kind of accent. But very, very, very well balanced. Easy to read intuitively. Like I had no problems. This one is exactly the kind of cardstock that I can shuffle and bridge. Ooh, don't throw them everywhere, Lisa. So yeah, I really enjoyed working with this. The cardstock is like a matte, soft matte, smooth. Yeah, just no complaints. It was really, really, really great to work with. I had a great week with these both. So yeah, I can't complain at all. And again, this along with Oracle of Echoes currently would probably this would be my top two for just pulling for divinatory purpose, for readings and not just for like daily draws and inspiration. So very, very pleased about both of those. The reading cloth I used this week is an oldie, well it's not that old. I was going to say it's an oldie but a goodie, but I've had it for like a while. This is the Gustav Klimt one that Peggy made me. It's got this gold metallic and red and gray on this side, black velvet on the other side. I think the gold looked really good behind my cards, and so did the black, so no complaints. I like having a solid on one side. whether it's velvet or cotton. So that one is fun. So yeah, that was what I used this week, and I've got like no critiques. Like I said, the only critique I have on the texture tarot would be that if anything, the cardstock is too thick, and if it's too thick and stiff, it is slightly less durable in a sense that it can bend and crease. And mine, I did have a card bend and crease. So now when I rifle and then slide them together, which I've seen lots of people do, and I think now I understand why, because I think Bridges might be asking more of our cards than the rifle. If anybody actually knows how that works, please feel free to comment down below, because I've always rifled and then bridged. But I did a lot more hand over hand, and by the way, that textured tarot hand over hands really nicely. The cards aren't sticky, they're really smooth, they slide really nicely. I'm just so used to rifling that it's an adjustment. So this week, I'm so excited. Okay, so I'm probably going to spend a lot of time on the tarot because I haven't shown it at all on my channel yet. I have the Naked Heart. I'm actually really excited about this because I have tried and am trying to really truly connect with my wild unknown, and I'm struggling. And I've recently actually just trimmed it and my wild unknown animal spirit in hopes that that will help me connect, and I'm going to maybe add some colorful edging and do all of that. But there's a point to this in my rambly brain, I swear. The Naked Heart, the art style of the actual animals is much more my style, I guess. There's a lot more vivid. Okay, let me just pause for a moment. The Fool is a unicorn, so that just makes it better. Automatically. It's like not even a fair fight. But no, in all honesty, the artwork in the Naked Heart, and all I've done is flip through. I haven't used this at all yet because I was waiting for my week to come up, the Magician. So it's actually still in order. But the artwork is vivid and brightly colored. There's a lot of jewel tones in here, like the Sky Father. Love. Did I already pass the Earth Mother? Yeah, I totally did. Anyway, the Sage for the Hierophant, I really like that. I feel like it's minimalistic but with still bright colors, and the art style is less sketchy. I don't know how else to explain it. And more fully developed. I don't know how to... I'm not an art person, so if I'm saying something like even remotely offensive, I don't mean it. I am no artist, so I have awe of anybody who does art at all. I mean, and let's face it, this is the best hermit. But what I do like when I see this deck come up on Instagram or on videos is I love how the colors pop. And if anything, I would say that's one thing that I struggle with sometimes with the Wild Unknown is there's not enough color, but I'm not really called to color it either. I know that Nina from Shuffle Tarot colored hers, I think. Am I getting that right? I might not be getting that right. Somebody colored their Wild Unknown and connects with it way better now. I even like this Temperance card, and I know this is super minimal, but I totally get it with fire and water and the elemental symbols. The other thing that's really cool about this deck is there are some really consistent astrological references throughout the deck. I really like the Tower. Love the Star. I actually really like this star a lot. It just has this very clean image to me. I'm going to just skip ahead a little bit. The Two of Cups. Love it. There's a specific way that I tend to interpret the Two of Cups. Here's another one of my sort of make or break cards, and it is the Nine of Cups, and I love this one. It gives me that peaceful, content vibe that I want my Nine of Cups to have. What was I saying? I don't even remember. I literally am such a squirrel, and also it's really late when I'm filming this because I have a whole bunch of things going on. I'm actually filming this on Friday night, which is when I start to change out my decks anyways. I change them out usually Saturday morning, Friday night, whatever, because I've got a vet appointment in the morning. Bruno, our little diabetic doggy, is going in for a test because we thought he wasn't going to be able to have his eye surgery, his cataract surgery, until well after the new year because the veterinary ophthalmologist near us is really backed up. We're lucky to even have one in our area, let alone to have one like 15 minutes away. Like, that's incredible. People come from all over to go to this particular specialist center. So they were really booked up, and we thought we weren't even going to get a date for his surgery till the new year, but they contacted us this week, I think on Wednesday, and said they had an opening. So there's one more test Bruno needs before we can officially have him done, but he's booked for a date in like a week from Thursday coming up, so like a week and a half. So I'm actually really excited, but we've got that going on, and we have some lunch plans on Saturday, and then I've got plans on Saturday. I'm like, it's going to be a crazy weekend, so I'm doing this now, so it's late. The whole point of this was to say I'm much squirrelier later at night than early in the morning, so I'm sorry. It's either coffee does it or just my personality does it. I'm not entirely sure. Anyways, Naked Heart. These are the backs. See, I can get back on track. This is me getting back on track. I'm just really excited to work with this because I haven't yet, and so that's exciting. That's just really exciting. And I'm kind of hoping this is going to be my go-to minimalist deck. I don't really have a lot of decks like this in my collection other than the Wild Unknown, which, as I've just mentioned, I've struggled with. I do have to say the guidebook in this thing is like gigantic for like, you can't call this a little white book. This is the guidebook. I love it when guidebooks fit in the box. That makes me happy because then I can put this whole thing together. This is by Jillian C. Wild, by the way. I didn't even say who it's by. I'm the worst. Okay, anyways, and I picked a Peggy bag, so like this is the box with black with that gold accent, so I picked a black with gold bag. I do think she has another one of these that's going to be going up on her shop in case you're like, ooh, because it's actually like a metallic accent on this one. Yeah, so I'm going to be working with this one this week. I'm so excited, so that goes there. And the Oracle deck I'm going to be working with, which I've had for a while, and some of you might have seen my live unboxing of this deck, and I like died. But I haven't played with it yet because in my opinion this wasn't right for October, and I think I got it in late September, and so I was diving into all of my dark decks, but it's the Whispers of Lord Ganesha Oracle by Angela Hartfield, so that's the backs. I did edge this one in a yellow that matches the back borders, but the fronts of the cards are not bordered and they have stunning color. I think this will go really well with the Naked Heart. I love this deck and have been recommending the crap out of it because it's just beautiful for starters. The artwork is incredible. The keywords are fantastic. The keywords and the art are beautifully done together. It feels like the art illustrates the keyword. And I get a little bit frustrated with Oracle decks when the art doesn't illustrate the keyword, or where you have to kind of dig into it, or where the keywords were applied after the art. And even art decks that I adore, Earthly Souls and Spirits comes to mind. I love that art, but I can tell that the keywords were matched up later, and it's not quite the same. Like, I can still enjoy and appreciate it, but I can tell with this deck that the illustration was made to illustrate, oh, it's one of my favorite cards, that eye, that kindness, that compassion, that empathy. There's so much. They are very glossy, but this is a deck where I'm glad that they're glossy because that artwork is so vivid. And there are, like, this is the heart chakra card, and it doesn't say heart chakra on it. It says wholeness, but there are all the chakras are represented with different keywords in this deck. It's stunning, and I'm super stoked to be pulling into this deck this week and playing with it and doing readings with it. I'm so excited. So, and it does come with a guidebook. It is this size. So this is the deck. This is a standard, I think, Blue Angel. Yeah, it's a Blue Angel. So the deck is one size and the book is slightly bigger. This kind of bothers me. I really wish that Blue Angel would make the deck and the book be the same, like, profile and fit inside a slightly smaller box. They don't, but luckily this size, the Blue Angel size of book, typically fits inside one of my Peggy bags. This is the one I chose. It's got like a leafy pattern, and it just colorway wise kind of matched it to me. So that's the Oracle deck I'm going to be working with this week. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. And you guys, the reading cloth, okay. I almost drooled. I got really excited right there. So Peggy is playing with her new embroidery machine. And so she was sampling a design, and I helped pick the fabric and thread colors. This is my reading cloth for the week. Oh my god, look at that embroidered labyrinth. I'm dying. And she put a layer of batting in this for me, so it is technically like a quilted feeling cloth, so it's thick. And then this is the material on the back. And I had it all folded up and kind of pressed, so it's a little creased. I'll need to give... Who am I kidding? I'm going to ask Peggy real nice to iron this for me because I'm not a big fan of the ironing. Anyways, I love these colors. I think this especially is going to look beautiful behind the Naked Heart, behind the yellow in the, what am I trying to say? Whispers of Lord Ganesha. But I just love how this embroidery came out, this labyrinth in this light blue. It looks almost like a glowy metallic blue. So pretty. So you should see this. I'm petting it. You'll probably be seeing this on my Instagram posts and such in the coming week. I might not be posting as much though, because this coming up week I'm going to be going down to Seattle to stay with my sister. John, our eldest man kid, is coming with me. So just John and I are going down. Peggy's going to stay up here because Bruno is not, he's a little bit needy right now because he is newly blind and he won't have had his surgery yet. So she's going to stay home with him and it's going to be just me and John going down. So I'm going to be going down Wednesday right after work and staying through Sunday morning. So I'm probably going to film my deck review video while I'm down there with her. So it'll probably be filmed at her place somewhere. I'm going to be bringing these decks as well as the decks I'll be working with the following week so that I can film that when I'm there. But other than that, my content, I've got some videos that I was already planning to put out. I've got my Tarot de Marseille on Earth coming up this week. I think I've got another video that I planned for Tuesday. But anyways, babbling. But I've got a lot going on this week, so I don't know how much I'll be posting on Instagram and stuff, but I will definitely be pulling this at the very minimum for daily draws and for self-readings. And I'll be taking these decks with me and possibly doing some readings with my sister with them too. So that will be really fun. Anyways, that is all I've got for you all right now. I hope you have a lovely rest of your weekend and an amazing week, and I will see you all again in my next one. Bye!